say or
Happy Father's Day.
Happy
Just
Father's
happy
Day.
Father's Day in general to the dads out there.
My father helped me out this week. I moved, and I had a problem with my landlord, Juliana.
Okay.
So
We're using government names.
yeah, I had to move out because she wanted to bump me $200 during the coronavirus. I said no, so she said I'm gonna call your bluff, and as a poker player, I respected that. She said I'm gonna rent out my apartment and move into yours. You got to get the fuck out. So now I'm like, oh shit. Do I call? Do I fold? What do I do here? I went all in.
Chips
Right?
on the table.
I said, I'm moving, bitch. Right?
What do you got?
And she said, I call. And I'm like, motherfucker. So that was, next thing I know, I'm moving to Brewster, which,
Explain the difference, though.
Yeah, the difference. You have to
City
put it in
Island to
perspective.
Brewster.
so there's ticks. I just found out what those are. And daddy long legs, I killed 3 of them. I've only been there 2 nights, bro. Speaking of my dad, great transition. My dad, God bless, helps me move. Now, my dad helps me and my nephew, Handsome Frank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Handsome Frank is just as Bronx as Handsome Phil. All my nephews, good-looking kids, very Bronx, very funny, good people, though. So I pick up my nephew. We go get the truck. We pick up my dad. My dad says the truck's too small. I got a 10-footer, right? I'm moving a studio apartment. My dad was right. We get to the apartment, and he's like, listen, all this shit's not going to fit. Why don't you give me your kitchen table at a couple of pieces? He's like, bring them to my house because they're not going to fit in the truck, and they're going to look good in my kitchen. So I think my dad was pulling fast when I get my kitchen set, but I respected it.
Yeah.
No, I was like, all right, whatever. He's right.
The
apartment
come
I
up's
moved-
there if you look for it.
Yeah, no, he was, yeah. Okay. It's actually probably was a long play because he picked out the set with me 3 years
He
ago,
always-
and
he
he was
always
like,
liked that set.
I'm gonna get this once he moves. So I bring it to my dad's. We come back. So I leave my nephew alone. My nephew smokes pot, so he's like, listen, when you guys are gone, he's 20. I'm gonna go for a walk on City Island. It's nice near the water. I'm gonna smoke. By the time you guys get back, I'm good. Right? We come back. My nephew's there. He's like, you have no idea what just happened. Right? We were gone 40 minutes. I'm like, what? He said, your landlord, Juliana, shows up.
Oh, my God.
Right? Well, he's in my house. And she goes, excuse me, can I talk to you for a minute? My nephew's like, sure. Goes outside. He goes, now you just smoked, right?
Oh, geez.
Sure.
So it's 10:30 in the morning. I did this first thing. So she's like, I told him how many fucking times that I can't have plastic and glass in the garbage. She takes my garbage, because when you're cleaning out your house, I put all my shit in garbage bags that I didn't, was thrown out. She throws 5 garbage bags at my nephew, where you hear the rattle like there's glass. And she's like, take this fucking garbage with you. I want you out of the fucking house. So my nephew's like, I don't think that's his garbage. Meanwhile, it was my garbage. So now,
nephew.
looking out. So she's like, these
That's
mother...
Bronx training 101.
Deny.
I don't know anything about
I've seen that garbage.
I don't know anything
I don't
about
know
that
that garbage. That's not my garbage. My uncle damn sure wouldn't throw out that garbage. He recycles like a motherfucker. So she goes to the gay guys, the neighbors next door, and she's screaming at them, and they're like, that's not my garbage, you know? She's like, he told me that's not his garbage. They're yelling about garbage. My nephew goes, when I come in, he goes, she ruined my fucking high, Unc. I went for a walk. That was my last bud. I said, listen, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is... So we move out the house. We're packing everything. And she's sitting on the steps the whole time. And I go to her nicely, and I was just like, Juliana, I wish you wouldn't have cursed at my nephew. He was just a kid, like... You know what I mean? Robert, I told you about this fucking garbage. I said, listen, I'll take it with me. It's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? And she's yelling. So my dad, though, is the kind of guy that he doesn't... You can't have a conversation. It's an argument only. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And
I've had a conversation with him before.
Yeah, but you didn't cross him.
True.
You know?
I don't think I would
You
either.
show him that,
Yeah, smart.
you know? Guy's been shot before. You're probably going to want to tread softly. So he's talking shit to Juliana. She's already drunk. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. This is just told you she's...
Is it St. Patrick's Day?
No, it's a Tuesday.
Teach his
But
own.
he's talking shit. She's not really understanding. So the apartment's emptied out. And he goes, Juliana, I want you to walk through the house and make sure that everything's fine before we leave. So she's mumbling. And she's pointing out, like, stupid shit. Like, there's, like, a mark on the fridge. There's, like... And he goes, for an illegal apartment, Juliana, let's let bygones be bygones. right?
Awesome.
Recording her. It's a 15-minute video,
Awesome.
right? So she walks out and she goes, "Fuck you," right? And I'm like, "Oh God." So my dad says, "Fuck you" back. I'm like, "She's a woman. Let's calm down." You know what I mean? With everything going on in the world, and we literally, me and my nephew, go through the garbage and separate the plastic and the glass from this other shit to please this fucking psychopath. So we hop in the car, right? We're driving now. My dad, we're all laughing about like what a psycho this lady is. Thank God we're out of it. We're driving to Brewster. It's a 50-minute drive. And somehow in conversation, you know, my dad shows me a picture of a girl he's talking to, right? He's like, "Rob, she's hot," right?
Where
And
do you meet her, Facebook?
Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's always weird when like not that I don't want my dad to like get laid or whatever. He's a widow, but like I don't want to talk about it. I just kind of want him to like. I don't want to. I have friends that I talk about that stuff with. Like I want to ask you about life advice. You know what I mean? Like should I or not do this? And my dad's the definition of gray. Like if there's a fucking he'll push me over it. You know what I mean? Like it's not. He's not the kind of guy like your dad and my dad are probably polar opposites.
Different.
Maybe even your dad a little bit too, probably, but
My dad's probably in the middle.
in the middle,
Yeah.
yeah. But the good thing is though, my dad would never judge me on anything, because he's done everything. So that's the kind of like it's kind of nice, but it's also like sometimes I wish he would be like, "You fucked up," and he never would, because he's like, "Oh, I did that 3 weeks ago." It's I get it. But I make a joke in the car when we're driving because he's talking about he keeps taking pictures by accident on his phone. He's pushing the button, and I make a joke in the car like something along the lines of "It looks bigger on camera," and he, in a serious face, he turns. Now I got me and my nephew, and my nephew's 20 years old, and he turns and he goes, "No, Rob, seriously, it does. Dead serious like that." And it was like this weird moment where I'm like, "You're sending dick pics at 64 years old to people?" But yeah, it does look bigger. I could tell you which angles to use if, like, depending which demographic you're going
And
for.
that's just
James,
fatherly advice right there.
I mean, he's giving me some good advice. He's giving me some bad advice.
That's something I can't go to my
Or
dad
did
for.
you drill home? You said that's what you're talking about?
Yes, 1,000%. But that's how, like, you know, he writes in my birthday cards, my dad, now they're Father's Day. He'll say, "Sorry, sometimes I forget who's the father and who's the son."
Oh, wow.
You know?
That's nice.
It's nice, but that's a pass. You know what I mean? That's like, you stepped out of bounds too, right? You know what I mean? It's not like, it's just, you know, did you get both feet? One of those, like, but he's a good guy. He's probably the reason why there's a lot of color in my life. But
Back to this well.
his 60th birthday party, we threw him a surprise birthday party. So in order to get him to come out, my brother had told him that he was going to hook him up with a woman. Like, he was like, we have a family friend, Andy, used to date my grandmother. So he was like, Andy's like, "I got a friend, you know, come out." So we throw the surprise party for my dad at this restaurant. My dad comes up to me and he's like, "You know, they told me there was going to be a girl here tonight." I said, "Yeah, I know. We had to get you out of the house." He goes, "I popped 2 Cialis before we came out tonight."
All right.
And he's like, I can't stay too long or it's going to get a little, And I'm just like, "Mother, just eat the fucking chicken martini. Let's fucking,"
Can't stay too long.
you know what I mean? It's like, I got my girlfriend with me. My dad gets a hard on. What am I going to... It's like... But it's just, that's my dad. You know what I mean? But I'm grateful that he's the way he is. And, you know, happy Father's Day.
Color to your life.
But
Thank you,
then,
Dad.
yeah, I met James's dad
Yeah.
twice. Both times, he just offered things.
To drive you places, essentially.
Yeah, my dad, when I would ask to go to school, he'd be like, "The buses ain't running." James's dad was good.
Feet ain't working? Yeah.
I sleep at James's house, and I think we were going to like St. Patty's Day or something the next day. What
Yeah,
were
it
we
was
doing?
something in the city. We lived in Westchester, in like the middle of Westchester. It's a lengthy drive to the city, like to the Bronx, I think.
Like what, 50
Yeah,
minutes?
like 50
but-
minutes.
Yeah.
And I remember we were going to take a train. We were going to hop on a Metro North train to Riverdale, the city, or something like that. And my dad would just the most purest intentions was like, "You guys are going to take a train? I'll drive you."
Oh.
He was going to just, at his day, he was going to take time to drive us to to our drinking engagement
Right.
with our
We
friends.
didn't even notice that. Like to Rob, that was.
Yeah, and to me, I was like, yeah, sure, that's great, Dad.
James literally turns. I'm in the back seat, and James goes, "What do you think?"
And,
I'm like-
and Rob was moved almost to tears. I swear to God.
You would do that for us?
And he's like, "I know a shortcut. I know the back roads. What's the? I'll get you there." Wasn't even gonna Google Maps it. He was
This was
like,
before Uber.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, he was. Really? But and it was just that, like, to James that was like normal, but that was like, and that's
I didn't skip a beat. I was like, oh, free ride to the city, okay.
Rob, you good? Yes.
Don't mess this up for us, Rob.
You would do that.
I'm hearing that Celine Dion song. You were my strength when I was weak. You were my voice when I couldn't speak.
Speak.
Listen, everyone's got their own dynamics.
And then it's just he's just a good guy, you know. They're both good. It's just everybody's good.
I think my dad he just became the family man. He wasn't always. I don't think he was always like that. Like I've heard stories, not to the extent of being shot in the face or anything like that, but I've heard stories from his past, but he just embraced the family life and he just made everything about his kids, and I'm always thankful for that. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
to the point that I don't
You recognize that as a kid, or you think you recognize?
No,
it as
I
you got
recognize
older?
it now. I
Yeah.
never recognized it as a kid, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry for that, Dad.
Yeah.
But no,
But you're gonna call him tomorrow, and you're gonna tell him you recognize.
Yeah, I'm
it,
gonna
right?
schedule an appointment. And I'm
Penciled
gonna,
in?
Yeah, that's how my family operates. We schedule.
And last story on James's dad, that because I've only met him 3 times. I met him one time in Delaware too, but we were going. He was doing. James was gonna. You were a good hockey player, you know, and you were gonna go play like a pickup game, and you were going to pick up your equipment. And even then, this is like 8 years after he had like ever played hockey for high school or like any travel league or anything like that. We like go to pick up the equipment, and his parents hadn't seen him in like a couple of months, and they were like excited to see him. And his dad, out of nowhere, he grabs the equipment, and I'm like, "Oh, James, you were pretty good in you must have been pretty good in hockey." And his dad goes, "Yeah, he was the escape artist." You know, it was like a proud dad, still like trying to like, you know, and it was just like that he still cared. You know what I mean? It was like
James was like, stop that.
You're embarrassing me, you know.
I mean,
Like wiping off the lipstick from a kiss, you know.
He-
It's like
every single one of my youth hockey games he was at. I mean, that's
amazing.
it's
And
incredible.
worked a full-time job, and you know.
I was like, his kids became his life.
Yeah.
I mean,
You think
I
you're gonna-
hope. That's what I struggle with all the time.
I don't think so.
I don't think I can. I'll tell you what, Dad. I can't be you, but I'll try. I'll try.
Aw,
I'll try.
You should put that in the card that you send him.
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
That's really perfect. And he's gonna tell you you're gonna be better than me. And if you need a ride, I know a shortcut.